Welcome into I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentry. We are in week 2 of the NFL, and this is our betting episode, week 2 picks. Tyson, we have to get through our recap from last week.
Please skip it.
Oh, I wish, man. I wish. But that's not what we do here, folks. That's not how we do it when I said what I said. You know, I have a bad week. I don't hide. I come out here and say I suck, and that's what I was. 1-4 last week. Minus 3.17 units. Not how we wanted to start the season, but week 1 I've just had a hard time every single week 1. But got the teaser home. Cowboys plus 8.5, Colts plus 9, so that was nice. Play of the week, Jets plus 4.5. I just got duped. Hey, what a disgusting idea I had in my stupid head. And then Jags, Dolphins over 49. Something's wrong with the Dolphins offense. I mean, we just watched this game on Thursday Night Football. I know Tua's hurt now, but they weren't hurt early, and that thing was gross. It was gross against the Jags. Commanders, Bucks under 42.5. Well, I wish I would have flipped the 2 games there because that was a fireworks show. That's a complete opposite of what I was expecting. And then I tried to be cute, tease the Giants up to 7.5, Panthers up to 10, and both got their doors blown off. So it was a bad week for me. But Tyson, you did pretty well.
I did all right. I got the Bucks minus 3.5 home. No sweat. That one was easy. Giants, Vikings under 41.5. I thought the Vikings were going to carry that thing all the way to the over by themselves. Good thing the Giants suck. Chargers, Raiders under 40.5. No problem. Jim Harbaugh doesn't care about points. Let's just go ahead and Antonio Pierce, thank you for punting the ball on the 43-yard line on 4th and 1. That was very nice of you to do. My play of the week lost. Dolphins minus 3.5. Well, why don't we talk about that a little bit after we get through this screen here? And then my other loss was the Falcons minus 3.5. Bad read on Kirk Cousins. Bad read on this Falcons offense. And honestly, that's my bad for disrespecting the Steelers defense. T.J. Watt was living in the backfield. Like, he was damn near taking handoffs from Kirk Cousins on some of these things or, immediate sacks. But on the Dolphins, I lose on the minus 3.5. You lose on the over. We watched the game tonight where the offense looks anemic before Tua gets hurt. And then Tua Tagovailoa obviously suffers a pretty scary concussion, another one. It's just the 3rd or 4th now that's been diagnosed. It's been, seen, and essentially all of them are on live TV, like in front of millions of people. It's a horrible spot to be in. So I guess 2-part question. One, what is going on before he gets hurt? Because we're running Robbie Anderson and Chosen Anderson and some of these other guys out there. Parker Washington. Like, what are we doing? And then obviously after he goes hurt and we see the rest of that game, they gotta do something if they want to make the playoffs.
Ryan Tannehill is probably going to be the quarterback next week. I mean, Skylar Thompson stinks, dude. Tom Brady, yeah. Ross is loving that up there in the owner's box, just thinking about that. But Ryan Tannehill is going to be the quarterback. This offense, I hate to say it, I love Mike McDaniel as an offensive mind. I think some defenses might have started figuring out these gimmicks. I mean, I'll tell you this, Tua threw some bad picks, but there wasn't a lot going on there that we kind of looked at and was like, whoa, that just is just absolutely crazy. So I think there's trouble in South Beach, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the other part is the runs to the edge are really fun with some of these speedsters that they have. Brad, if that's the only game plan and the only offense that you can really provide, I mean, Devon H, he's running out there basically as wide out 1. That's 2 weeks in a row with seven catches for 70 yards. This is an interesting way to allocate some of the usage here in Miami.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, let's get into the picks here, Tyson. My play of the week, I'm going Monday Night Football, Eagles minus 6.5. That's minus 110 on Caesars. Now, I have a crazy card this week, folks, so just bear with me here. I'm trying to get my mojo right, so I'm attacking things from my stupid brain and my angle. So, here you go, Tyson. I mean, one, I think the Eagles are better than the Falcons. I'm a little bit concerned about Kirk Cousins actually being able to find the rhythm against the Eagles defense here, but they get the rest advantage. They went Friday and they get Monday. I love that, especially, and I know people think Nick Sirianni's a slap, but there's more time for these coordinators to figure things out. Jalen Hurts, 17-9-1 against the spread at home. 8-1-1 against the spread at primetime at home. This guy's a primetime player. This Falcons defense is a joke. I mean, listen, they held the Steelers to 18 points. That ain't Jalen Hurts. That ain't these weapons. You're not going to get touched on, and you're not going to touch them. And on the other side, if you couldn't block T.J. Watt and you could block for Kirk Cousins, listen, I know that defensive front is nasty. This Eagles front is nasty too. And so I think they're going to get after it and make Kirk Cousins have a hard time. And then Tyson, we all know the primetime Kirk things. 16 and 25 against the spread, 13 and 18 against the spread at night. Like, come on, man. I mean, we got great trends on our side here. So Eagles lay the hammer.
Yeah, he's 0-2 against Philly in primetime games in the last 2 years. So you can even reduce your sample size down to that. I do worry a little bit with the Eagles allowed 7 plays of 20-plus yards last week, but outside, like if it's not Bijan or maybe like Darnell Mooney, I don't see Pitts, getting loose. He scored a touchdown. He still doesn't look good. Drake London still doesn't look good. And so it's hard to really tell what's going on over there. I'm going San Francisco -4.5 here for my play of the week. I bought it down. It's -114 on DraftKings right now. I'm not totally scared of the 5.5 number. I just feel more comfortable at 4.5. And Brad, I think that maybe we're overrating Minnesota a little bit because of how bad that the Giants actually are. And I think that Sam Darnold looked awesome. Am I the only one that watched that 49ers defense play and was just like, wow, they're missing Hufanga. They're missing Greenlaw. Like some of these guys aren't even playing. So they're going to get better as the year goes on, assuming those guys come back. But dang it, they look good. And I think that Minnesota is closer to, like, we can't look at week 1 against the New York Giants and go, well, we were all wrong on the Vikings. It's still Aaron Jones. It's still Sam Darnold. I'm not buying it.
I mean, Fred Warner, the guy's a Hall of Famer. He's just so good. He's unbelievable,
now. I mean,
man.
He's top 3 in the last probably decade that I think that I've seen. Like it's him, Kuechly, and then you can kind of take your pick for the next.
So this is one of my funky ones here, folks. I'm going to call this, I can't envision them losing this game parlay. So first, let's talk about the Seahawks. They're going on the road to face the Patriots. I do get a little bit scared about the long travel, but the Seahawks are better than the Patriots, folks. I mean, the Patriots should have lost against the Bengals. They had 2 fumbles down inside like the 5. So everybody's flying high over there in New England. To me, that offense is still anemic. That offense is not good. And then you're going to have Mike McDonald, and I know it was a rough offensive performance from the Seahawks. It was weird, that Broncos game for sure, but the defense looked good. They flustered Bo Nix. Now, Jacoby Brissett has been around the block a little bit, seen more defenses, but the lack of weapons is a major concern for me. But if you're going to be able to take away Ramondre Stevenson and what Jacoby Brissett's going to beat this defense, I don't think so. So give me at my first leg the Seahawks money line, then Jets going on the road to face the Titans. Aaron Rodgers looked rusty. Aaron Rodgers had good moments. I thought this Jets offense was looking good at times, and of course they were just completely stifled at others. But this Jets defense was a concern against the 49ers. I do not expect that to be the case this time. They're going to be motivated. They're going to try to stop the run. Tony Pollard is not the running game from Shanahan. I know you could say, well, Jordan Mason, well, it's the running game, and it's the way that they utilize their backs that is really the thing to defend. So I like this at +144 on DraftKings. Give me the Jets, Seahawks just to win.
I mean, he's like 3 weeks away from being Sideshow Bob Saleh instead of like Big Bob or whatever we've been calling him. This is disgusting. Dude, you had all offseason. This is the defense you roll out week 1 against a guy that knows all your tendencies. You don't have any counters. Come on. My next one here, I talked about it a little bit. The Giants suck, everyone. I think that New York is going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. I'm going with the Washington Commanders money line. Jaden Daniels gets his first win. Malik Neighbors pops up on the injury report today. So are you afraid of Wando Robinson here? Are you afraid of Devin Singletary and Eric Gray? I don't think so. We talked about, Daniel Jones is in our armchair quarterback segment this week. We gave him the what for a little bit here. And I think that Jaden Daniels gets to actually sit in the pocket, maybe throw the football this week. So the other part, man, I think Brian Robinson can win this game by himself. So I don't even need the Jaden Daniels love. I think we're going to get it here. I think Commanders win. I think they win decently, large.
Well, I think we're going to see some points in this one. So I'm taking the over 42.5. Now it's just above that key number. So it does scare me a little bit, but that's -115 on FanDuel. It's the best number in the market. These defenses are not good. We thought maybe with Dan Quinn coming in, this defense would look good. That's what I thought when I picked the under last week in the Bucs game. But I think it's going to take some time. That Emmanuel Forbes is out. He tore his UCL in his thumb, so he's out, and he'd lose another secondary piece. That was already the worst EPA per pass in the league. Now, the Bucs went crazy on him. It's 1 game sample size, but that was ugly. Like, people were running wide open in the secondary. That was atrocious. And the Giants weren't any better. I mean, 26th worst in EPA, 27th worst in pass EPA. Now they got to go on the road. I don't know, man. I think there's going to be points in this game. I think it's going to be one of those classic NFC East games, Tyson. It kind of gets a little crazy, but there's points up on the board, maybe 27, 28, something like that.
You know where I don't think there's going to be points at all this weekend, Brad, is in Carolina. And I think I'm going to think that a lot this season. I'm going with the under in the Chargers-Panthers game, sitting right at flat 39 on DraftKings. If I get hooked, who cares? Like, first of all, I told you guys I'm betting Jim Harbaugh under until it doesn't hit, and I think I'm going to be able to go for a while here. The Panthers look so anemic, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. People are rightfully kind of victory lapping their Bryce Young sucks takes, and it's really hard to defend the other way right now. And I don't know if he's even going to have the football long enough to show us. I mean, this might be a 40-minute time of possession game for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Bread and butter play for me. Calling my shot on a team total. I'm going Lions over 30.5. That's minus 102 on DraftKings. Now, the safe play is buying this down to under the 2 touchdown mark. That's 27.5, minus 155 on DraftKings. But I can't give it out to you people. I was contemplating it with Tyson. I'm like, no, I'm a man of my laurels. I'm a man of principle. I'm calling my shot here. I think this is a time when the Lions offense explodes. They get back-to-back home games. The Bucs secondary is not good. Plus, they're losing 3 starters to injury this weekend. 3 starters are out. And Amon-Ra St. Brown was quiet. Sam Laporta was quiet. Folks, that ain't going to happen in this one. This is going to be an explosion offense for the Lions. And Tyson, if they want to run out the clock, if they get up big, you got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery who can pop on at any point in time to get this over for us. So I think this is going to be an explosion here for the Lions. Give me over 30.5 that they score by themselves, minus 102 on DraftKings.
It feels like the whole country would exhale if the Lions offense looks good. If Amon-Ra St. Brown has 10 catches and Sam Laporta's back and we still get a little J-Mo love, I think everybody would be pumped. You might be a man of laurels and principles, Brad, but I am a coward. I bought the Jacksonville Jaguars down to minus 2.5. I don't want to lose this bet. It's minus 124 on DraftKings. I think that the Browns are a dumpster fire. Like I think that it was a very tough game for them a week ago. Obviously, getting clowned on by Dallas. We got some more news, circulating around the Deshaun Watson thing because that never goes away. And we're already hearing reports that like this locker room splintered and all of these things. Jacksonville didn't look like world beaters against Miami, especially in a Miami team that now we're kind of questioning like what the hell is this? But I still think they get it done here. I think that. Anytime you get 2 or 3 free possessions from the other team's quarterback, you're going to be okay.
All right, well, that's going to do it for Tyson. I have 2 more, and of course, they're my classic teasers here. And boy, the first one, get ready for a gross leg here. But I'm the first one, Ravens minus 2. I'm getting that down against the Raiders. Now, I am a little bit scared about this, but Tyson. Harbaugh is just insanely elite in week 1 and 2 against the spread. He's 22-11 in his career. The guy has more time to prepare. They're coming off a loss. They're pissed off. They think they probably should have performed better. And Isaiah Likely, if he had a size, 12 instead of a 13, they got a chance, right? So I like that angle. Then how about this one? Teams who are +3 or higher the previous week then are favored by 7.5 or more the next week. Now, that's a little niche. But they're 16-7 against the spread since 2016 and 23-0 straight up. So, all right. So just in my head here, so the Ravens are probably going to win based on these numbers, at least teams in the situation are. And they're 16-7 against the spread with the big numbers. Why don't I get it down to under 2? Antonio Pierce is good against the spread, but I like this one at Ravens at home, especially the extended time. And how about this, folks? Bengals, it says minus 12 on here. It's supposed to be plus 12. So let me fix that for you YouTube viewers.
That's minus 120. What are you talking about?
Plus 12 here. Now, this is disgusting. I think Isaiah Pacheco could be in line for a huge day on the ground. We just saw what Ramondre Stevenson did. But if you're going to take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands and rely on the running game, you just shorten the clock. That is great for us, especially when we're taking this number higher. Now, I know people are concerned about the Burrow thing, the Burrow wrist injury. If that's a big issue, okay, we're screwed before this thing even gets underway. But let's just say that he's healthy. Tyson, my goodness, 26-14 straight up against non-NFC North teams. 26-14 straight up against non-NFC North teams. Okay, that's a good start there. How about this? 10-2 against the spread when they're a dog of 4 points or more. 5-0 when Jamar Chase plays in that situation. Jamar Chase is going to play this week. Then Patrick Mahomes on the other side, 38, 42, and 2 against the spread as a 3+ point favorite. Just not good covering big spreads outside of that 1 year when they just ran roughshod over everybody. So we get this number up to 12 over double digits. I like this a lot. So that's minus 120 on DraftKings, a 6-point teaser. Then my last one here to close things out, I got the Cowboys down to a pick 'em and the Packers +9. Another gross one here. I just couldn't combine the gross legs together. Maybe I should have, but that's minus 120, 6-point teaser on DraftKings. Here's the explanation. Mike McCarthy for the Cowboys, 21, 13, and 1 against the spread in weeks 1 and 2. Like, he's a good coach early on, Tyson. I know people hate to hear that and they're going to plug their ears, but how about this? The guy we just think is a slap. Dennis Allen, 5, 16, and 2 against the spread after they win. Guys throwing a party. It just doesn't happen often enough. They're too busy partying and congratulating themselves.
When you apologize for scoring too many points, it does make sense for the next week to try to score less.
That's a good point. Now, how about this one? Another niche little stat, but I'd like it. Teams who win by 20+ points in week 1, who are then turn around and are 6+ point dogs the next week, it's happened twice. Both have lost by 19 points in this instance. It's rare, right? It's a strange thing, but they get pounded, right? Okay, the team they played was bad, and then they got to turn around and play an actual good team. Oh, they're not as good as people thought. So just that's what I'm going here. So just Cowboys to win at home, where they played really good last year, where they went undefeated. Now, how about this? Packers. Are we sure, folks? Can we bet Malik Willis? Can we trust it? You know who I'm trusting? I'm trusting Matt LaFleur, because he's 13-3 against the spread in weeks 1 through 3. You put this guy as an underdog. He's not just a front runner. He's 22-11 against the spread as a dog. I mean, my goodness. Now, he had Aaron Rodgers and he had Jordan Love. But do you remember when nobody knew anything about Jordan Love? Back in the day when we were like, oh, we don't know about this guy. I mean, we had freaking more Bigfoot sightings than Jordan Love sightings. It was crazy. Then what does he do? He comes off the bench, starts against the Chiefs, and covers the 7-point spread. They lose by 6. Could that be the same case here with Malik Willis? Tyson, you know how I feel about Gus Bradley. I think he's a slap. I think he's a horrible defensive coordinator. Instead of doing things that are going to make life difficult on Malik Willis, he's probably going to do the same thing that he does, because that's what he does. He doesn't change anything up. So if that's the case, all Matt LaFleur and the Packers have to do is turn around, hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs, because the Colts are 28th in rush EPA. We just saw Joe Mixon, who we thought was getting put out the pasture, run wild on him last week. So this to me screams they're going to run the football. Malik Willis is going to do some things. They're going to make life easy on him. Maybe some pop passes, Jordan Reed, do some screens, hand the ball off, make life easy on him. And then Jeff Hafley, new defensive coordinator, this is where you got to make your money and keep this under. Come on, let's go.
Got him loose.
That's it for me. What do you think? Do you hate these teasers? Because you hate this one. Okay. Is it the Packers?
I don't actually hate this one. I think the Packers are fine at +9. I just dude, we got to start a list for you, because I'm pretty sure I can pull up text messages that are like, don't ever let me bet on Malik Willis ever again. We might have not had more. We might have had more Bigfoot sightings than Jordan Love, but we've seen this dude play. And I don't think Gus Bradley, he could trot out 11 guys as long as the Packers, or 10 guys, as long as the Packers are dropping back every play, he'll be fine.
What if the Packers went outright? Do people have to apologize to Malik Willis?
No. I mean, I don't think, apologize to Josh Jacobs, I think, if they went outright. But I mean, I've seen this dude lose games with Derrick Henry before, so I don't know.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. That's going to do it for us here. Tyson, we're kind of discussing some other things, but we didn't quite pull the trigger. So where can they find it if we do decide to add?
It'll be in the Discord app, group name. I said what I said. Tons of different channels in there. One of them being the NFL. We'll have the picks that you just heard here on the show aren't the only picks of the week. There'll be player props and all of those other things. Brad loves the early window, late window, touchdown, anytime touchdown scores. We're going to try to get more of those, home as the season goes on. And it's just more fun to celebrate with other people. So go ahead and hop in there and let us know what you're playing.
And in the meantime, you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, and share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button on the way out. Stay subscribed. We got tons of content coming out for you this weekend. If you're looking for college football picks, that's in our feed. We get you ready for the weekend. It's not a great slate. We got some picks, man. We're firing at the board. We're trying to get back on track. And we hope you enjoyed this weekend. We'll be back next week breaking down what we saw in the NFL. So we just keep this train rolling in football season. So enjoy football this weekend, guys. We'll talk to you then. Peace.